Can you imagine getting the top score of 90 in PTE speaking in just 7 days? Sounds like a dream, right? But what if I told you it is possible? And what if I told you that I have got this result with one of my students recently? I will show you his scorecard in the end. So join me on a thrilling 7-day challenge where we will turbocharge your speaking skills, shatter the barriers and push you closer to the perfect score. Although 7 days may sound like a lot less compared to the time people normally put on their preparation for the exam, but what we are going to do is definitely hard work. I'm not denying that, but in a very smart way that will focus on just the things and the areas what the PTE is looking to give you a 90 score in the speaking section. I will give you a plan for every day and we will tackle a new aspect of the PTE speaking section, from fluency, pronunciation to mastering complex responses. This is not just practice, it is a transformation. So if you are ready to take up the speaking challenge with me, hit the like button, subscribe, and don't hesitate to WhatsApp us for paid PTE assistance. Your PTE Speaking 90 score is just a week away. Welcome back everyone, I am Anurag from Edutrainex. On day 1, we need to focus on the core ideas and familiarize with the concepts. If you have not given the exam before, then you are like a clean slate and you can focus on what I am going to share with you. But if you have given the exam before and not able to secure a 90 score, then you need to be more flexible in firstly unlearning some of the wrong ideas that you may have learned before. So the first thing on day 1 that you must do is to understand the different questions of the speaking section. There are 5 in total. But before we begin, you should put away, or should I say throw away, the idea that content is important for top speaking scores. It is not, absolutely not, and that is one of the reasons you may have not been successful in the past, as you are focusing too much on the content before, and that resulted in losing track of fluency and pronunciation. Content is not the king, fluency is the king. The first one is read aloud task. Your main focus should be to speak around 60 to 70% of what is given in the text, as the PT will want you to speak at least that much. Completely ignore the difficult words as if they are not there, and then just focus on speaking clearly and fluently. Rhythm is important, and also you need to pause appropriately at the punctuations like comma and full stops. Maintain the same rhythm in the questions of the speaking section, but don't speak in a very thick voice. Make your tone sharper like me so that the PTE understands you clearly. The most important thing is that you don't hesitate or fumble anywhere. If you hesitate for more than 3 times or try to correct your mistakes, then your fluency score is gone completely. Mark my words. Just continue even if you said something wrongly. You can still get a 90 score. I'll show you an example. The core of the problem was the immense disparity between the country's productive capacity and the ability of the people to consume. If you can't speak some of the words and hesitate like this, the core of the problem was the immense disparity between the country's productive capacity and the ability of people to consume. You can never expect to get a 90 score if you speak like this. Just don't read these words. For repeat sentence, which is very important question type in the speaking section, due to its weightage that it has in the speaking, you just follow the same technique. Listen to only what you can. Absolutely ignore the difficult words and try to speak around 60% of the total words you heard. Just focus on fluency. Trying to remember the difficult words and then saying them will certainly result in hesitations and fumbles, and your score is going down. Just maintain a steady rhythm and say as much as you can hear. You can try chunking to break the sentences to phrases and then say it. Let's take an example. Learning a new language opens up a world of opportunities. It has 10 words in total. So just say like this. Learning a language opens up opportunities. 6 out of 10. 60%. Still enough to get you a 90 score. For describe image and Retell lecture questions, the first thing you need to do is to memorize the templates. Pick any simple templates given online, or you can also copy it from our blog. It doesn't matter. Memorize it first thing in the morning, afternoon and evening. Just focus on memorizing it first. It's not very long one. These are not long templates, roughly around 30 seconds when you speak. So I wouldn't say it will be difficult to by heart them. Now again, fluency and rhythm should be your focus, not content. For describe image, you just talk about a few relevant things in the image and just speak for 30 seconds maximum, not more than that. If the image is about women population, you can say something like this. The given image represents several trends and features for women population. A deep analysis of the picture reveals a lot of detail. The image displays various things such as 20, 40 and blue. Similarly, maximum, minimum and 100 can be observed in the image. Continue the same way and in the end, just say, in conclusion, the image provides useful information. That's it. Just say it fluently, 90 score, definitely. For Retell lecture, content is a little bit important as it also weighs you for listening section, which is why you should add some phrases to the templates instead of just using single word keywords. This example is about 2 types of rocket engines. Use a template, that is not a problem, but use more phrases like in the introduction, one of the sentences in the body and then in the conclusion. For the remaining sentences, just add multiple keywords using conjunctions. You can see a sample here. The speaker was describing the conventional and the rotating detonation engine. Firstly, she talked about fuel efficiency and so on and so forth. In the end, just say overall, she implied that conventional engines use a lot of machinery. That's it. The last speaking task is answer short question, which is just like a general knowledge questionnaire. Hardly has any weightage to your speaking scores. So don't waste much time preparing for it. If you know the answer, just say it. If you don't know the answer, just say something you heard in the question. The important thing is you just say something. Don't be quiet. So when you spend the day 1 on getting your basics right, let's move on to day 2. The first thing you need to do on the day 2 and continue till day 6 is listening practice and repeat sentence. What I give my students from day 1 of their preparation is a list of 1-minute audio files, and they need to pause after every sentence and then repeat what they heard as much as they can for around 30 minutes to 45 minutes daily. It serves 2 purposes. The first one, to get you familiar with the accent and tone, how the native speakers are speaking. And the second one is preparing your subconscious mind to listen with focus. This is a crucial practice everyone needs. The next important task for day 2 is to do around 10 read aloud questions and record and listen to yourself. And then also do the marking yourself, because you need to identify what mistakes you are making and learn from those mistakes. If you hesitate more than 3 times, fluency is gone. After that, practice a few on any of the AIs, but still self-check is more important. For Retell lecture and describe image, firstly, practice the template if you remember it well, and then do around 5 questions of each type. Record and listen for any sounds of hesitations. You will need to fix them. Listen to your voice. It should be firm and have a sharp tone and have a rhythm, pausing at pronunciation and speaking clearly. You should also use our AI to try these questions and you will receive a very detailed feedback. But again, self-evaluation is the best one for you. Don't bother to do any answer short questions. For day 3, 4, 5 and 6, you just repeat what you did on day 2, but add a couple of steps into it. Do some practice questions in front of mirror, looking at yourself. A very subtle way to judge yourself, how you are sounding and how you are responding when you are attempting those questions. Also ask your friends or family members with decent command in English to listen to your responses. Two minds are always better than one. So it is always smart to get other people's feedback as well on how you are speaking, because sometimes you miss to notice some mistakes in yourself that others can easily figure out. So it is very important that you do all these for days 3, 4, 5 and 6. At the end of day 6 or early day 7, you should give the official PTE mock test to check your preparation. You really need to make sure you have a good microphone for the test. Ideally, a wired one that goes into the audio input. But nowadays in the laptops, we don't have that port. So USB mics are also fine. But never give the exam using the laptop mic. I gave it once to try, and despite answering everything correctly, I got a 50 score. So use a good mic for the test, and don't forget to use a free screen recording software that includes the system and your voice to record the whole test, so that you can go through it, how you answered each question later on. Once you get your scores, if you followed everything I said in this video, you will get 90 score in speaking. Since you are already paying for the mock test, you will probably attempt the questions from other sections as well. But even if you skip the remaining questions of the test, you will still get around 35 in the reading and 40 in the listening as well. Because if you did well in the read aloud, it has given 35 marks to your reading, and if you did well in the repeat sentence and the retell lecture task, you got 40 marks for listening. Finally, on day 7, you relax and revise the basics again. Do some more listening practice, but mostly relax and prepare yourself to be ready for the exam, the real exam, so that you can get a 90 score. See the scorecard of the student who successfully completed the 7-day speaking challenge and got a 90 score. For more tips and strategies acing the PTE, make sure to hit the subscribe button, enter your comments and share this video with other people. WhatsApp us for paid coaching. We will certainly take you to 90, because that's the way you crack the PTE exam. Goodbye and see you in the next video.